Well, we're driving in a Ram. So this is a 3500 2022 high output with the Aisin. I've got 10,400 pound trailer behind me with a Bobcat E42 on it. Just pretty much brand new. 3,700 kilometers on this thing basically. That's not too bad. I mean, this is probably close to what the max towing capacity is on this truck according to paper. I think it'd have no problems doing more because it's I think 23,000 pounds. It's a crew cab short box. The same truck in the long box configuration does 26, I think, and there's no differences between them as far as I know. You can't really chalk it up to wheelbase length because, like, the dually regular cabs have the most towing capacity of all. So yeah, I mean, that doesn't really make sense. You know, to think that the shorter wheelbase dictates the towing capacity. So component for component, they're going to be the same. Truck just has a little higher GVW and a higher gross combined. So this is a fairly decent little hill. You know, I don't think it'll work the truck too much, but it I don't know what the grade is, probably 6. Well, maybe not that much. It's not that heavy. It's not that steep, but I mean, it's enough that with a heavy trailer, you're gonna slow down. Like if you're in a rig, you'll slow down, 60k or 40k or whatever, depending on how much power you got. Most trucks are crawling up at fully loaded, doing 40 with their lights on. Doing 92, not even into it at all. Fifth gear flattens out a little bit here. It's hard to tell with the sun, it's pretty bright, but be interesting to see what the weights are. I'm gonna go scale it just because I'm not quite sure my positioning of that machine on this trailer. I don't have the same capacity over the rear axle in this truck as I do with my other trucks. So here we are, we're just cruising along, 60 mile an hour up the hill. She's just chugging away, 1900 RPM. Oh, just geared down to 4th. How about, I don't know, quarter throttle, maybe a little more. If I put my foot that's flat foot right to the floor. That's all she's got. It's not got the power that my 2019 F450 does. Like, that's, I'm not gonna lie, that's not that good. That's like full flat foot, tongue twisted here. Pedal to the metal, man. Like, all she wrote, that's all she has going up the hill. So this trailer with that machine on it is either heavier than expected, or this truck just doesn't pull as hard as it should for whatever they are, 420 horsepower and 1,075 foot-pounds of torque. I'm not gonna lie, I'm definitely not wow, what's the word? I don't know what to say. I'm not overly blown away by the power it has. It doesn't really impress me. It pulls up the hill well. It holds its speed up the hill, but it's kind of gutless when you put your foot into it. Like, it doesn't take off. Like, if I put my foot into it with my F450, which doesn't have quite as much torque. I think they're 975 or something like that. 450 horsepower. Different gearing, so the gearing gives it a bit of an advantage, but it'll take off. I mean, I'd be doing 125, 130 up that hill without even trying. So that's a big difference. You can't chalk that all up to gears. My older 2007 F350, which I have done up with the Banks stuff on it, it'll do 160 up that hill. It makes my F450 feel like a 4-cylinder, and this thing feel like a 3-cylinder. So like, I like this truck, but I'm certainly, it doesn't feel like it's got almost 1,100 foot-pounds of torque to me. The other thing, not too keen on, is this dash here. I got a 2022 F150, and it's got the big screen, and they are horizontal and not vertical. And this thing, like when you're looking on the road, you look down to the screen, you can always see that, and you're boom, boom, right? You got to look way down to see those, you know, bottom features on the screen. And on the Ford with the horizontal screen on that new one, it's like that. You see everything right there. So that's something I really noticed I don't like. Engine brake on this thing's good. It's not bad. Like I mean, I'd like to say it's stronger than the Ford's. It probably is quite a bit. It's different. Like, I find that the Ford really doesn't feel strong empty, but once you get on it and it starts, you know, getting up there RPM wise, it does pretty good. Like, it's not bad. It does kind of feel weak, you know, empty and under, you know, normal RPM ranges compared to this. This is stronger, but you know, when it comes right down to it, if you wind the 6.7 Power Stroke out to, you know, 2,800 RPM or whatever it is, once it's screaming, she's holding back pretty good. This is as well, but this has got way more engine braking power at the lower RPM range. But peak brake power, I think it's probably not much different. I don't know what the new GMs are like, other than what people tell me, which is that they're really weak. So I don't think there's any surprises. If I were to drive one of those, I would probably think they're pretty weak as well. Just going through the weigh scales here. So my truck is licensed and registered for 17.3. That's kilograms. So more than what these things are supposed to be capable of toning. So this will be interesting to see what it weighs. So I'm at 2,310 kilograms for the front. There we are. That doesn't seem right. I gotta back up a little bit. Oh, maybe it is. 2860 for the rear. I should be writing this down. I'll have to go back and look at the video and figure out the weights. The trailer. Oops. 8280. Yeah, we're getting up there. About 14,000 something kilograms. So that's pretty maxed. I will show you guys the truck and trailer afterwards. You will have seen it in my other videos, I'm sure. Fuel economy wise, this thing seems to be pretty good. Empty, the best I've gotten is 23.3 miles to the gallon. That's imperial miles to the gallon, so it's based on 4.54 liters per gallon, not 3.78. So you figure that out by dividing it by 1.2, and that'll give you US. My F450, for example, I'm getting about, I think the best I get on the highway is just over 21. So a little bit better in this, obviously, which is to be expected. It's a lighter truck with higher gears. No problems taking off on the flat with this. So this is, I think, pretty much a max gross combined weight limit for this truck. So if it's just over 14, I mean, I regularly pull basically 20,000 kilograms with my F450 every day. No problems. Doesn't even break a sweat. One thing I really do notice with this Aisin transmission is the shift from second to third is a bit of a jump. So it's not a small step, it's a big step. Empty, these things really defuel between your first and second shifts, and then from third up, they seem to have they're not detuned, I don't think. So they don't have torque management or whatever the heck they got going on to try and protect the drive line. On the higher gears, it's pretty full power once you put your foot into it. But I mean, yeah, no, it handles this weight really well. You can tell it's, you know, it would like lower gears. Lower gears would make it really effortless. This thing, like I said, it's got good power. I like the way it produces power, maybe more than the Power Stroke. but it's kind of like a lazy power. Like the power stroke just, I don't know, it's hard to explain. It just, oh, there's a guy parasailing up there. Yeah, the power stroke's got a lot more power though. It feels like it anyways. Like it takes off. That's you know, I was honestly surprised. Really is lackluster in this compared to that truck. And the new power strokes, I think, are supposed to be a completely different animal. Like they're supposed to be monsters. I've been reading reports on like dyno pulls and stuff on those things, and they're putting 500 horsepower and 1,100 foot-pounds down. There's no way that this thing's doing that. And then, you know, the other thing I found out, so I've got a friend that's got a few of these Dodge trucks, right? And he has a 2018 regular cab dually that he uses to tow, and he's always, you know, pulling heavy equipment around. And he bought a brand new 2021 or 2022 same truck, dually 4x4 high output Aisin. Apparently his brand new truck is gutless compared to the 2018, which doesn't make sense. All his drivers are saying that, you know, it feels like it's down 60 horsepower compared to the 2018, which on paper does not have anywhere near as much power. I was doing some reading, and one of the things I was reading, and I can't find anything to actually confirm it, is that the 3500 dualies with max tow package might be derated compared to the single rear wheel pickup trucks with a high output. I don't know, I think I got a video recording here. I ran out of space on my phone, which I was doing the recording on earlier, so I think it cut off halfway through my little rant about this truck not having the kind of power that I was expecting based on the numbers on paper. You know, so it definitely isn't a ringer like, you know, the Fords are. Like my 6.7 power stroke in my 2019 F450 would absolutely lay waste, or it lays waste to this. Like this is not, it's no slouch. Like it just pulls steady up the hills. It just does not accelerate. Like when you put your foot into it, it will not pass with a load. It just doesn't have it. That's what surprises me. Like if I put my foot into it, I'm floored. I'm fairly level ground and I'm barely accelerating. So like this is pretty lackluster performance for a towing truck. If I put my foot in it while I'm towing with my F450 or even my older 2007 F350 that I have done up with the Banks kit, which I've towed these kinds of weights with that truck all the time, it'll take off. Like it will get up and pass, like almost like it's not got a load behind it. Both those trucks will. This truck's slow. That's all I can say. It's just slow. But so far, so good. I mean, it seems to be decent on fuel, and it's doing what it needs to do. It's not like I feel like it's underpowered. It's just not impressive. Well, we're at our destination. So he doesn't seem to want to focus that close. You get an idea what we're dealing with. Bobcat E42, and we're on a 34-foot load trail gooseneck, two 15,000-pound axles, so a pretty stout trailer. Depending on the truck, I mean, I have no problems putting 25,000 pounds on it. The truck is sitting fairly level, so it's not overloaded. I do not have the air ride suspension in this truck. It's just regular old leaf springs. And for those of you that think I'm being overly critical of this truck, this is my own personal truck. It's not my company truck. I didn't buy it for my company. I bought it for myself. I'm gonna obviously use it from time to time, you know, to move equipment and stuff. But this is a family truck, so I have every reason to want to like this truck, and I do. It's just it's not got the power that I expected it to have, and it's probably a lot to do with gear ratio. Alright, so my Let's see if I can get this to focus. My cargo capacity on this thing was 3,684 pounds. The truck, just so nobody questions it, is a high output. Get my hand in here. There you go. High output. CP3 pump, not a CP4. Hard to keep these things clean. I washed this thing and it's just got like this weird grime on it. 20-inch rims, factory gooseneck grip kit, no camera. The only thing this thing has is the camera there. Kind of frustrating because that's nice to have up there when you're hooking these things up. Running boards suck on these things. They're really short, stretched up really easy. The bumpers, really small steps on them. I'm actually quite surprised. You know, climbing up into here, there's barely enough room to put your foot on there. So they're very small. The Fords at least have, you know, sizable bumpers. I put mud flaps on it to try and help keep the crap off of it the best I could. That's a nice truck though. Like, it rides really nice empty. It's not bad at all. Fairly simple. It's nice. It's got the 60/40 bench, so we can fit everybody in it. Sunroof. Great stereo in these things. Really good stereo. Almost. I'd think it's better than the one in my F450 Limited, which has got the it's got the best stereo you can get. Thing's a little clearer. I think the Ford plays a little louder. The sub in this seems a little more punchy, but yeah, I really like the stereo. Seats aren't bad. They're quite comfortable. I don't know what else to say. It's got telescopic, or no, just adjustable steering. Pedals move back and forth. Yeah, it's nice. It's not got a whole bunch of features, like I said. Just basically nice stereo, sunroof, backup camera. It's got the park assist or whatever the heck they are, those little sensors to make sure you don't back into stuff, but that's it. Doesn't have the surround view cameras, so it's pretty low tech in that department. Biggest thing is it's got that bench seat up front, which is nice because I got kids and we can all fit in here. So yeah, it's a comfy truck. Just these running boards, they're really short. I've already scratched the hell out of it, so that sucks. Scratch this up a little bit. Try to be really careful because I always like to step down and put my foot on there the best I can so that I'm not sliding out and wrecking the seat. You'll wear your seats out real quick that way. But yeah, anyways, I gotta offload this machine. Oh, see if I got this working. So this is a 2021 Bobcat E42. I frickin' hate this thing. These are supposed to be a good machine. I mean, it's not failed me other than breaking a tooth off that bucket. But they're quite a rough running thing. I turned that stupid thing off. But I don't like it. It's not my favorite machine in the fleet, that's for sure. This window leaks like crazy up here. Foot pedals are really small. Everything, cab is not sealed up. Hydraulic controls on this thing are nowhere near as good as my Kubota's. Don't have a lot of hours on this thing yet, only 276. I literally avoid using this thing as much as I possibly can. I try to never run it. My guys run it, and not me. I had one guy liked it. I don't know why. I absolutely hate this thing. The only nice thing about it is the hydraulic quick change. That's it. I'll try to do this one-handed. But I really don't like this machine. They're just really poor quality. I'll shut this thing off. And it's got some nice features like the keyless thing and all that fun stuff, but I mean, I don't know. I know we're talking about Dodges here, but you look at this thing, look in here, guess what that says? Made in China. It shows up here, I don't know. Maybe not. Everything's made in China on this thing. Or Korea. It's not the Bobcat of old, that's for sure. But anyways, like I said, I don't like the machine. It's not let me down other than breaking the tooth. It's just one of those things. Really machine pisses me off. It vibrates like a jackhammer. Little 3-cylinder. It shouldn't be so flipping rough. You run it wide open, it's not bad. I will say the thing's pretty easy on fuel, so that's not too bad. But anyways, that's besides the point. This thing, so far I'm happy with it. Like I said, I'm just a little underimpressed with the power. But I sweep the deck off here, so I'll end the video for now. Alright, well, that's that. I'm gonna back this thing up. Trailer's dropped off. Nobody's behind me. I don't have to worry about running into anybody, which is nice. Let's see, the other thing about this thing I've noticed is the mirrors are not quite as good as the ones in the Ford. They're not bad, but I don't know if you're catching that in there at all. But the nice thing about these mirrors though is the little convex mirror on the bottom is actually power, so that part's really nice. I don't find the visibility quite as good. Like they're not bad. Like I do like them, but I don't know whether it's just I'm not used to them. They don't seem as good as the Ford though. So, but they're not bad. Now, I gotta get out and close the barricades to the job site, and I'll be back in a minute. Alright, well, we're off. Oh, the other thing, this truck does have the full LED headlights, which is nice. What else was I gonna say? Yeah, I mean the truck looks really good. I do like the truck, don't get me wrong. I'm nitpicking here about stuff. I'm probably asking it to do more than what it really should be doing. Maybe, I don't know. I mean, I think it should tow that kind of weight. No problem, and it does. I mean, I just kind of thought it would take off a little better, and it does. Yeah, it's probably just gearing. I don't have any driving time in any of the dualies with the 410s, so I just don't know. It's been a cold spring. May 8th today. Oh, geez, I have my trailer gain down. It shouldn't be that high. Oh. Yeah, that's May 8th today. It's still chilly out. It's not too bad right now. It's like 10 degrees out, but probably be down to 3 or 4 tonight. At least it's not snowing like it was like a week ago in places. Maybe it was a week. Yeah, right at the end of April there. So, def tank seems pretty low. It sure goes through it when you're towing, that's for sure. I don't know how many kilometers, maybe 50-60 kilometers, and it's moved like quite a bit. So that's one thing I've noticed. It's not too bad on fuel, but it drinks the def. My F450, I think it's got a bigger def tank, but I actually almost forget it uses it until all of a sudden the light comes on the dash and it's like, hey, you got to put def fluid in this thing. And yeah, like it's never been something I've actually really thought about as a negative. Whereas this thing, it's like, okay, the tank's going down, I gotta keep def fluid bottles in the back, or I gotta, you know, make sure I go to a card lock that's got def fluid or whatever it is, right? Like it's something to think about. Empty, this thing, I mean, I'm no problem. Like, that's flat out. Still not that, it's not that quick. You know, trailer's 10.4 with the chains and stuff probably in it. The stickered empty weight on it is 10,300 pounds, and I got a bunch of gear. I bet you I got 150 pounds of gear on it, so it's over 10. So for lighter trailers and stuff like that, your standard RVs and things, you know, this truck will pull it like it's not even there. Heavier stuff where you're really pushing it, you're gonna notice it. I'd really be curious to know what you know, dually or a truck that's got 410s or whatever pulls like. See if it pulls any better, because then you'd kind of have a more apples to apples comparison, or at least I would anyways, comparing it to my 450 with 430 gears. But just, I don't know, this thing does not seem like it's got, doesn't have the power that I would expect it to have. I just don't know what to say about it. The more I drive it and the more I pull it, you know, trailer with it, the more I'm realizing that it's not got that much power. So maybe there's something wrong with it. I don't know. Oh, the other thing with these things, and this is the other possibility as far as why it might not be making the kind of power that it maybe could, is the, oh, there goes an organ donor. The Dpf filter on these things, they're missing the sensor that tells the computer that it's full. So the Fiat Chrysler or whatever has got an agreement with the government. They're calling it a pending recall or something. So these things are on a timed regen right now, so they're not regenning based on when the Dpf filter is full. It's just regenning based on mileage or fuel usage or whatever the heck the computer tells it, or determines it by. And that might be why it's using more DEF fluid than what I would expect. It also might be why it, I don't know. Like I said, it doesn't seem to be, you know, too hard on fuel, but it's hard to compare it because it's a small tank in this thing. I mean, it was full last night. All I've done is a little bit of driving around in town, and it's just sucked that fuel back. But the computer's saying it's not too bad mileage-wise. Anyways, I'm going to end the video for now. I'm rambling on pretty much about the same stuff. Yeah, like the truck. Not overly impressed with the power. Yeah, that's about it in a nutshell. Well, if I can time this light right where I actually come to a stop, I'm going to do a foot to the floor acceleration from a standstill here and see what it does. I have that trailer. Oh, I wonder if I can get it. Okay, I'm going to come to a stop. Light's green. Give him a little bit of space. Okay, foot to the floor. Starts to hook up there. You can really feel that computer defueling. So it's not bad. That's, oops, I hit the button there by accident. I didn't mean to end the video, so it'll be a little gap. You didn't miss anything. I'm still in the same spot pretty much in traffic. Yeah, it's not bad. I mean, that's pretty good. I think this truck, you know, with a 12 to 16 or 18,000 pound trailer, it's gonna be more than adequate, you know, for your anything anybody's wanting to do with it. I think when you start getting up around that 24 to 26,000 pound range, which is more than what the short box truck is capable of towing according to the, you know, owner's manual, you're gonna start to feel that maybe it's, you know, at its limit. It's just gotta be gearing wise, really. I mean, that's the only thing that I can think, because I mean, it does put power down. Like, it's got good power, but it just I don't know how to explain it. I really don't. Like, it's just sometimes when you expect it to be there, it's not there. Like, I'm still getting used to the truck. I haven't, you know, maybe it'll wake up a little bit. I don't know, maybe these things even are somewhat defueled for the first 30,000 kilometers or something stupid. I just don't know. Yeah, it's not a heavy enough truck to pull my equipment trailers around or my big dump trailer around, but it'll move the smaller machines around and, you know, stuff like that, no problem. And it does it effortlessly, really. When it comes right down to it, it does. It just doesn't accelerate like under load the way I'd expected. But anyways, yeah. don't know what else to talk about. I like the truck, I do. Just, yeah. Well, I'm going to put the video, or stop the video for now, and probably wrap it up at that. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. If you like the video, thumbs up, you know, subscribe if you want to. Always helps me out. You know, I make videos that interest me. I don't necessarily make all truck videos. You know my videos, I make a lot of other videos too. So, but yeah, if you like the video, please comment and subscribe. Thanks.